What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 147. And we're starting today's episode off with some player training, and of course after the sale of Laporte in the last episode for £80 million to Chelsea, we've now got around £72 million in our transfer budget. And as we also saw in last episode too, there was an offer on our table under consideration for Breel Donald Embolo, or is it just Breel Embolo these days? Well, the Swiss striker regardless, 28 years old, 85 rated. This season is yet to scratch in La Liga. 10 games, no goals. Admittedly, most of those games coming from the bench, but he has scored 2 goals in the Champions League in our final 2 group games against Dynamo Kiev and away against RB Leipzig as well. But the bid from Barcelona was for £44.2 million. Now he's currently valued at £36 million. And I thought after the sale of Laporte, we discussed it in the last episode, with Barcelona right now leading the league, 10 points above us in the table, 1 game away from the halfway point in La Liga as well. Is it time to blow our squad up, make loads of sales in January and go into rebuild mode, or sell some big names and sign some big names as well? Well, I thought I should at least negotiate with Barcelona. Embolo's our 4th choice striker, so we can get some decent money for him. And in the end, after I asked for £65 million, they came back to me, said how about £59.8 million, which is still £23.8 million over his current market valuation. But I said, up that bid to £63 million, give us that amount of cash and you could have him. And Barcelona said, yep, we'll take it, £63 million for Breel Embolo. So £63 million the deal agreed. That's £27 million over the market valuation, and Embolo is off to Barcelona. So we've now sold 3 of our players since we joined Atletico Madrid in 2 transfer windows to Barcelona. Nathan Ake, Arthur returning to Barcelona, and now Embolo going to the league leaders mid-season for £63 million. However, I think it was the right thing to do because Embolo in this team is 4th choice striker. He's yet to notch up a goal in La Liga for us this season. He's barely going to get a start between now and the end of the season unless it's a cup game or a midweek game, in behind Abraham, Felix, and of course the shocker Ivan Toney as well. And after that sale, we've got around £126.5 million to play with between now and the end of January. And of course, in the last episode I discussed it. What do we do with this Atletico Madrid team in this January window? Of course Laporte was going to go. Embolo gets sold as well. There's plenty of money here at the Metropolitano, but how do we handle this dilemma? We're 10 points off Barcelona, who are our only opponents for today's game in the Supercopa semi-final here. Do we look to rebuild the squad? Can we even afford to do that? Can we afford to do that right now? Sitting outside the Champions League places, I think we need to start bringing in some star talent here after the sales of Laporte and Embolo, and that's how I'm going to try and reinvest this money. I got asked a question in the press conference in the build-up for the Barcelona game. What are we going to do in this transfer window? What signings are we going to make? Well, so much pressure on me right now, sat in 5th place in La Liga. Yes, we're into the knockout stage of the Champions League after a picture-perfect group stage, but we're supposed to win the treble this season. Right now, we're 10 points off Barcelona. We've got to get to work and reinvest that cash. So for the first and only game in today's episode here, we would indeed take on, fitting, Barcelona in the Supercopa semi-final. And of course, this cup competition does not count towards our objectives. So it's kind of a meaningless cup competition, really. But of course, after a run of 4 straight games without a win, we needed a distraction. And a win in this game would be massive. And 18 minutes in, Ivan Toney, the shocker, with a contender for goal of the season, and we've seen several of them in our debut year at Atletico Madrid. Corner whipped into the middle, only half dealt with by Barcelona. Sergio keeps the chance alive, rolls it into our number 9, and this has got to be one of his best goals ever, just inside the area, weaker left boot, and Ter Stegen is absolutely class, but he can't get anything on that. It is right in the top corner. What a goal from Ivan Toney, and the 4-time Golden Boot winner gives us the lead and makes it Barcelona 0, Atletico 1. So just what we needed here at the Libertador, I think it's called in the game. 1-0 up against Barcelona in a game where Embolo was left out of the matchday squad. We lead as we try and sort our form out in the Supercopa. But in the 27th minute, I was irate at this point. Emmanuel Aya made a great challenge, but the referee gave a free kick just outside the area, which Rashford struck, and Oblak made a very good save for. But I could not see how that was a foul. It was a great challenge by Aya, good stop by Oblak regardless, it was still 1-0. But from the corner, Arthur turns Raquel, nice step over him. Yeah, Martinez makes the challenge, but can't win it second time. Pepe gives it back to Arthur, and of course, Arthur against his former club would put Barcelona back on level terms, but I was absolutely raging at this moment here because yes, the ball had gone dead after Oblak saved the Marcus Rashford free kick, but it shouldn't have been a free kick anyway. It was a brilliant challenge by Emmanuel, and I felt really harshly done by there. And I guess it's just one of those things, you know, when it rains, it pours, basically, in FIFA career mode, and it certainly did there. I was in the fourth official's ear, I couldn't believe it, but it didn't matter. The goal stood with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. I tell you what, if we have got any chance of getting back in the title race, well, it depends on the form of this man. He scored a stunning goal earlier, and he gets his second of the game right before the break. Ivan Toney restores our lead with a fabulous strike there, makes it 2-1, and Atletico are back in front, heading into the dressing room. So a thrilling Supercopa semi here, as it's Barca 1, Atletico 2, but right after the break, 2 goals scored quickly before and after the half-time period. Marcus Rashford would draw Barcelona back on level terms, as for the second time in the game, they battle back from a goal down to find an equaliser. But for this goal here, well, I couldn't blame the officials for this one. This was my error. Trying to pass out from the back, as I do with Riquelme, gave the ball away, quick little 1-2, and Rashford drills it past Oblak. Right, must say I felt it was a bit flat-footed for that goal there, but either way, Barcelona back on level terms. It's my error, and it's 2-2. So a 4-goal thriller in the semi-final. A fantastic game, and the drama was not done there. 18 minutes to go. Oh, Ter Stegen, what a save by the German to deny Oyarzabal's second goal for the club. And then a few minutes later, Sergio Mia Martinez. Oh, what a tackle on Marcus Rashford. What a tackle by the kid. And this one I'm not sad about selling Laporte. Amazing challenge. But with 6 minutes to go, I mean, I talked about it in the last episode. There are just some goals on this new patch where there is literally nothing you could do. Barcelona won yet another contentious free kick deep into our territory, far out on the left-hand side. Rashford takes it, and answers on a postcard. How do I defend this? Oblak comes charging out of his goal, and I've talked about it. Goalkeepers since the patch come out of their goal a lot more for crosses and often get caught in no man's land. Konate wins the header, hits the post, and then heads in the rebound as well. How do I defend that? How on earth do I defend that? Barcelona 3, Atletico 2, and twice they've battled back from a goal down to find a leveller, and with 5 minutes to go, Konate wins them the game, and Barcelona dump us out of the Supercopa in the semi-finals in what was, in all fairness, a thrilling game. A 5-goal thriller, an absolutely fantastic spectacle, no doubt about it. But the goals we conceded, yes, the second one was my fault, I accept that. But the first one, it shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place. We were harshly done by there. And for the third goal, I mean, come on, EA, seriously, how on earth am I supposed to defend that? Absolutely ridiculous. But Barcelona get the win. We're knocked out of the Supercopa. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't count towards our objectives, so it doesn't really matter that much. However, it is worth pointing out 5 straight games without a win for Atletico Madrid, 2 defeats in the 5 games in all competitions as well, 1 game away from the halfway point in La Liga, 10 points behind Barcelona. Right now, we are in serious trouble. It's our worst run of form since we joined Atletico. So after the game, with all the pressure on my shoulders right now, as I've been the one that's constructed this squad, well, I knew I had to make a big decision. And that was to spend the money and spend it on a big name. And I looked at my transfer shortlist, and I looked at the release clause of one of the best players in world football, and I said, Borussia Dortmund, you're going to regret not negotiating a new contract with your 92 rated 25-year-old English winger. You know the name, baby. Jadon Sancho, 92 overall, one of the very best players in world football right now, in the prime of his career. A big reason why we won the European Championships 2 years ago with England. He'll be on the plane for the World Cup in the summer with my England team. He's got Tammy here, he's got Ivan here, and he's got Ollie here as well. And I thought for £72 million, when normally we should be spending about double that to get him. This is a deal I cannot afford to pass up. We had the cash after selling Laporte and Embolo. We agreed a 5-year deal of £250,000, and this is the man I am pinning my hopes on to rescue Atletico Atletico Madrid and save their season. Jadon Sancho, welcome to the Metropolitano. £72 million the deal, £250,000 a week. But listen, we are in crisis right now. We need someone to rescue us, and I'm pinning all my hopes on Jadon Sancho. 92 overall, key stats, acceleration, ball control, dribbling, all 99, 96 sprint speed, 96 agility, 94 balance. This guy is absolutely rapid. He is so agile, and he's got a low center of gravity as well. Plus, he's got the technical stats to back it up with 5-star skill moves and a 4-star weak foot as well. Atletico Madrid are in crisis mode. I wouldn't say it's a panic buy for £72 million. Instead, I'd say it's an absolute bargain. But Sancho's got to hit the ground running if we're to get back in this title race. Still half the season remaining, but I'm pinning all my hopes on Jadon Sancho to rescue Atletico Madrid and save our season. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching if you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon, featuring Jadon Sancho's debut with Atletico Madrid.